Today I wanted to talk about saving up for large purchases, how to save up for large purchases, and why it is so important to save up for large purchases. The first step to saving up for large purchases is to pay with cash. And the reason that it's so important to pay with cash is so that you can work on first not adding any more debt to your life, and then ultimately getting completely out of debt. By getting out of debt, you are able to free up what one personal finance expert calls your greatest wealth building tool, which is your income. That's why it's so important to save up for large purchases like automobiles, appliances, furniture, bedroom sets, things like that, because that way you are freeing up your income. You're not having to pay all those interest payments to credit cards or to store credit. You're able to use that your own savings, your own money, to pay for those things and not have to pay that extra money toward that interest. The second reason that it's so important to save up for large purchases, or the second tip for why related to how to save up for large purchases, is to decide whether or not the item is really worth it. You may think that you want a new truck, or you want a new car, or you want a fancy living room furniture set or bedroom set, but does that really align with your values and what's most important to you in your life right now? Maybe you would love to have a dream sports car, but if your days are spent, coaching soccer games for your kids and going to work and those kinds of things, is that really what's most important to you right now? And does it really align with your financial values, and will it help you to reach your ultimate financial goals? And so, of course, to know what those values are and what those goals are, you have to sit down and think about those and write them out. And that will help you to know whether or not making this large purchase is worth it. The third tip for saving up for large purchases is to make room in your budget to have a certain amount each month put toward the large purchase. So if you know that in 10 months you want to buy a new fridge, for example, or a new washer and dryer set, and that say it's a washer and dryer set, and you know that it's going to be about $1,200, then, and you're going to buy it, let's just do easier math, let's say you want to buy it in 12 months, then you would know you need to save up $100 a month for that purchase so that you can pay for it with cash. And so that amount every month would need to come from your budget, and then you can save up and purchase that, in this case, that washer and dryer set in that amount of time. The fourth thing that you should do when saving up for large purchases is to set up separate savings accounts for the different things that you need to save up for. Some financial experts call these sinking funds. So, for example, if you know that in 5 years you're going to need to replace your roof because it's getting older and it needs, it's getting some wear and tear, and it'll need to be replaced then, and so you want to save up, say, $2,500 a year to buy a $12,000 roof in 5 years, then set up a separate savings account for that. Set up a separate savings account for your car purchases so that you can work toward purchasing those with cash. Set up a separate savings account for your furniture and appliances. Set up a separate savings account for car maintenance, for a recreational vehicle if you want to have one of those, or one or more of those. Set up a separate savings account for a down payment plan. Or for a down payment for your home. There are many things that you can set up separate savings accounts for, and it's really easy to do. With one of the online banks that we use, we have more than 10 separate savings accounts, I'll just say that, that we use, and we transfer money automatically each month into those different accounts, and that way we can easily see our progress toward the financial goals that we have as well. and know how much is in there toward large purchases that we need to make. Number 5 is to make cuts in other areas, make spending cuts in other areas if you need to in order to make your large purchase. So maybe you need to purchase another car, not a new car. I wouldn't recommend buying a brand new car unless you're a millionaire, but let's say you need to buy, you need to buy a larger car, say a minivan maybe because your family's growing or whatever, in a year or maybe 6 months. So then and let's say you need $2,400 more to do it. So then you would know that you need $400 a month in the next 6 months, or for the next 6 months, to buy, or to have that extra $2,400 that you could add maybe to the money that you're going to sell your vehicle for, your current vehicle, add it to that value of that, and then purchase that newer vehicle. So in order to have that $500 or $400 a month, you might make cuts in other areas, such as cutting your grocery budget, cutting your entertainment budget. Maybe you cut your cable. Maybe you get cheaper internet or cheaper cell phone plans, or you cut back on your traveling for a while, or your gas money, things like that. There are tons of places where you can make cuts in your budget, and in virtually every area of your budget you could probably make cuts. Eating out, definitely. You could make a cut in your budget there, so as potentially. So there are lots of places where you can cut your budget if you need to in order to save up for a large purchase more quickly, or in order to put more money toward a large purchase that you know is coming up. Then number 6, on the flip side of that, in addition to cutting your spending, it's very helpful to increase your income. There's only so much you can cut, really, realistically, from your budget before you can't really cut anymore. But the potential you have to earn extra income really is infinite. You could get an extra job. You could work extra hours at your job, work overtime. You could get more training and get a raise. You could, if one of you is not currently working, if one spouse is not currently working, that person could work, could look into getting a job from home or a part-time job in the home. Things like, away from the home, but where you can shift to maybe doing childcare, things like that. Take turns doing childcare, or one works in the evenings or something like that. So if you want to make a larger purchase more quickly, a great way to be able to do that is to increase your income. Then another way to help you to work toward your large purchase is to consider buying it used. So not only don't only look at buying your vehicles used, which I highly recommend, but look at buying your appliances used. We've definitely done that. Buying your furniture used. We certainly will do that. Anything, not anything, but a lot of things that larger purchases that you might be looking at, you could do, buy something used instead and save some of your money. Then, also, shop around for the larger item that you want to buy. So make sure that you're getting the best deal, the best value for what it is that you want to buy. Don't just accept maybe the first price that someone gives you. Do your research, look online, see if the item's cheaper to buy online. Maybe the item's cheaper to buy at your local store. Maybe one brand is significantly less expensive than another, but it's still high quality. So just kind of look at those kinds of things to see what you can do to get the best purchase price. And then finally, number 9, celebrate milestones along the way. If you are working certainly for more than 6 months, more than a year, more than a couple of years for this large purchase, if it's a down payment for a home, buying a vehicle with cash, things like that especially. But even if it's only for 6 months or whatever, celebrate little milestones by maybe you go out to get ice cream, or you buy yourself an article of clothing that you really love, or buy yourself a book, or I don't know, some little treat, go out to dinner, whatever. Those are great ways to help keep yourself motivated and to help you keep focused on your goal, your larger goal. Don't make them big things, obviously, because you're saving money so that you can buy the larger purchase, but small things, might be worth it to help keep you motivated and keep you focused on your goal. So those are 9 things that you can do to save up for large purchases, and by following those tips, you can, reach financial goals reach your financial goals.